Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Ventura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. On today's show, I'm welcoming Zack Gittlen. He is the Director of Marketing and Development for Guide Dogs of America here in the Los Angeles area. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Good. We'd like to know more about Guide Dogs of America, which is a nonprofit, and it does train service dogs, specifically trained to aid those with disabilities. So we'll get into that a little bit more. And you can tell us more about the organization and all that you and your team do.
So Guide Dogs of America is located in Sylmar, which is the top of the San Fernando Valley. We have a 7-acre campus here. The organization was founded in 1948. And the reason it was founded was a man named Joseph Jones lost his vision and he needed a guide dog. And when he went to go get one, they denied him, citing advanced age, and he was only 57. So he said, anybody who deserves a guide dog should be able to get one. And I'm going to found a school of my own that has no discriminatory laws. And so he hired a trainer, hired a dog, and started training dogs. And what I find fascinating about this story is that he didn't even keep the first 5 or 6 dogs that he trained. He gave them away to others. It wasn't until he really got it rolling that people said, hey, wait a minute, if you're going to be doing this, you need a guide dog yourself. So this is our 75th anniversary, and things have changed quite a bit over the years. One of the major changes is that 3 years ago, we merged with another nonprofit called Tender Loving Canines, and that expanded our services from just guide dogs for people that are blind to include service dogs for veterans with PTSD or mobility issues. We give dogs to families that are impacted by autism. So it's not just the child that receives the dog, it's actually the parents that come and train with us and are the ones administering the therapy and all the cues that the dogs know how to do. And then we also place dogs in facilities. So hospitals, schools, courtrooms. Those dogs are really fascinating because they're not just impacting one person's life, they're helping dozens of people on a daily basis. People kind of get a little confused when you say facility dogs. So just to give one example, we have dogs that go to courthouses, and they go and they're partnered with like district attorneys. And so we have a dog down in Alabama right now in the DA's office. And what that dog does is that when a child or any victim of trauma, but children are where they do some of their best work, that child will have to recount what is often the worst day of their life. And that can be hard to get an accurate statement out. So the dog helps calm them down and get them through that process, and actually motivates them to continue on with the process, and will even get up on the stand with them when that day comes.
Yeah, there's quite a bit that goes into this. And of course, Guide Dogs of America has many different people at different levels of the organization that are bringing these service dogs to so many people in need. You've got staff, training, puppy raisers, volunteers, fundraising. So much goes into one service dog. And we would like to add that the service dogs that you do place are at no cost to the recipient. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. Okay. So tell us more about training, especially puppy training, and how someone would take on a puppy and socialize it and train it to become a guide dog, which will change somebody's life.
Yeah, so without getting into too much detail, I'll walk you through kind of the process.
Okay.
As you mentioned, each individual, so anybody that we place a partner a dog with, they don't pay any cost, but internally it costs us about $60,000 to produce each dog. And we are what they call a full service guide and service dog school, which means we breed, raise, and train each one of the dogs. So it starts here. We have the best corner of the campus is the puppy nursery. We breed, about 150 puppies a year. And once they're 8 weeks old, we place them with puppy raisers. And our greatest areas of needs right now is volunteer puppy raisers. And they're some of the best individuals in the world. They do this really incredible thing of welcoming a dog into their home and raising it for somebody else that they know needs it more than them. So it's about a 14 to 18 month process from when you get this 8-week-old little butterball till it's a full-grown adult dog. But we're there to help them every step of the way. We have a canine development team that teaches them how to train the dog, and their main responsibilities. It's not too complicated. You're not teaching it how to be a service dog. You're just giving it a loving home and showing it the world, which we call socializing the dog to Starbucks, Target, the movies, teaching it how to behave in those different situations.
Okay, that's great. I understand you're expanding into Ventura County and you are looking for puppy raisers there and volunteers. And we'd like to hear a little bit more about that need for you as well.
Yeah, so we're headquartered here in Sylmar, but we have puppy raising groups all throughout Southern California. And one of our groups is a Ventura group. We also have a Simi Valley group. So the woman in the office next to me, actually, her name is Debbie Prince, is the area leader for Ventura. And she runs monthly meetings out of the Ventura area where you go and you learn what they're teaching that month. Maybe it's a new training technique or just an outing or just to get together and kind of hear about what's going on. But she's your ultimate resource for, hey, my dog got into the trash, what do I do? Or, hey, my puppy's a little sick, what should I do now? Or I'm really struggling with this command. She's a primary resource for you, so that you don't have to come back here to Sylmar every time something is needed for the dog.
Right. And how do you basically qualify to become a puppy raiser?
So we'll take anybody, but you got to be willing. You got to be willing to do the job.
Very dedicated. Very dedicated.
As much as I'd like to keep it sounding simple, it's definitely a big ask. You got to have. The application process. We don't just give the puppies to anybody. We have to make sure that you have a good home. There's some requirements in terms of your lifestyle, so you have to be able to take the dog to work with you. You can't leave it at home all day. But it's really just about your willingness to learn and jump in and do something for somebody else. Okay.
Now let's get to the big one. Donations are a big part of your organization. Without the donations and the volunteers, many of these dogs would never go to so many people. So let's talk about that and how you get the donations and do fundraising for the organization.
Yeah, so we run a budget of about $7 to $8 million a year, and it's all privately funded. I don't think we take any government grants anymore. And so it's coming from people's goodwill. And so the easiest way, if you're hearing this, if you're out there, if you're looking at me, go to our website. It's guidedogsofamerica.org. There's a bright red donate button in the top right corner where you can make a donation. The bests are if you choose to make it recurring. It could be $5, $10, $25. But there's other intricate ways that you can give. You can make us a beneficiary in your estate. That's a really big one where you leave us 5%. You can make a sponsor. You can sponsor a puppy. You can do corporate matching. You can start an event or fundraiser of your own. There's a million ways. One girl, she collects cans from all the movie studios and recycles them every year and hands us a check at the end of the year. So this place runs on, once again, we talk about puppy raisers. The term we always use is there's a village, and it takes thousands of people deciding that somebody else really needs the help and love of a service dog to make this whole machine happen.
Very good. Can you share a little bit more on the website and contact information, especially if there are people out there who are interested in becoming a puppy raiser or just a volunteer? Are there also age limits for becoming a volunteer?
So on campus, I believe it's 16 years old. But anybody of any age can start fundraising or talking about us. I always tell people you can get involved with the click of a button, because one of the best things is just sharing our mission on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or whatever you use. But if you go to our website, that's like our virtual home base per se. It's our virtual campus, and all the information is there. So if you're interested in applying for a dog, maybe you have a child with autism or you're a veteran listening to this and this is resonating with you, there's tabs for the different programs. There's a whole puppy raising section on there where you can learn more about the requirements, where your area group might be, what the application process looks like, what the commitment is like. There's ways to get involved. There's a volunteer tab where you can fill out an application to volunteer. We're always looking for on-campus volunteers. We couldn't do it without them. We couldn't pay for all the labor in terms of people that come and donate their time to us. Very good.
So most people who are interested can get everything they need from the website. In closing, would you like to add anything more about Guide Dogs of America?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is puppy raising. I'm gonna keep going back to that. Even if you don't want a puppy raise, maybe you know somebody that loves dogs, is a dog trainer, just lost their dog, whatever it may be, and wants to welcome a puppy into their home. But we do have, if you're liking what we're doing and you're still on the fence, I encourage you on October 14th. We have a graduation, and it's a guide dog graduation, and there will be 10 students that just got their dog, and you'll hear from them about the impact that this dog has had in their life and how you can be a part of that. And if you come to a graduation, you're hooked. So I encourage everybody to come on out. It's on our campus. It's usually it'll be at 10 o'clock on Saturday, October 14th.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much, Zack
Thank
Gittlen,
you.
from Guide Dogs of America, for sharing so much about this really good organization that serves so many people in need. We wish you all the best and continued success at what you do. And thank all of you for joining us today on Our Ventura TV. I'm Sandra Siepak. See you next time. Bye, everyone.